Welcome to Tech Talk, y'all.
Hi, and welcome to Tech Talk, y'all, episode 395, a production of Edgewise.Media. I'm Adam Walker.
And I'm Sanjay Parekh.
And we have an odd episode for you today in that we have more weird and wacky articles than we do regular tech news articles. I don't know what's happening in technology this week, or if more technology news is just falling under the category of weird and wacky, but it's pretty weird and wacky. So
yeah, or we don't really want to talk about some of that tech news anyway. So it's like, that's not.
There is that. Yes. Though there is some tech news we're going to be falling into. We're going to go down some rabbit holes for sure in this, as usual in this episode. So it's going to be great. Let's start off with Amazon. That's always a good place. A is for Amazon. Amazon. I don't know why I thought that was funny. Amazon now sells Hertz rental cars through Amazon Auto. And Sanjay, you gonna buy one?
Probably not. Did they do this deal because Hertz name ends in Z because their name starts in A? You made the alphabet joke, so I just wondering that.
If everything from A to Z.
I've never thought. So here's it.
Okay. Yeah.
How well do you treat rental cars when you rent a car?
Man, you like redline those bad boys. It's basically a race car combined with a bumper car combined with an ability to transfer you from point A to point B. Like, that's really what it is.
I mean, there's a saying that somebody told me once that of how you drive a car like a rental car, like you abuse it.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering how good these cars actually are. So I've never bought a used, and apparently you can get a good deal on these.
Yeah.
Probably because nobody wants to buy them.
That's right.
So if you really need a good deal on a car, maybe this is the way to go, but also aware that you're driving a car that somebody has abused mightily. Many people have abused mightily over the years.
Yeah.
And I think most of these cars, they only keep for like a year or two, right?
Yeah.
Like they're always cycling through. And that might tell you something too about the condition of these cars. So,
well, either that or it just means they don't want to deal with the maintenance and they want to make sure they stay sort of new-ish feeling to the people. Right. So it might be a strategic business decision, but still, I get Carvana, I think, where like I could probably buy a car online from Carvana and feel pretty good about it. But I don't. Carvana's built that brand trust for so long that I feel like it's doable for me. Amazon Auto for sure has not. So I don't think I would be very interested in
this is the second company that they've partnered with, right? Wasn't there like Hyundai or somebody else that they partnered with?
I feel like we talked about a partnership in a previous episode, and I do not recall.
And it was new cars, I think, too. It wasn't used cars; it was new cars. So
it might have been.
I mean, overall, I think this is an interesting move on Amazon's part. You know, they're going to get more and more into car sales. It sounds like. I think maybe as younger consumers come more and more on the market, this will be a more normal thing.
Yep.
For me personally, I want to go to a dealership and I want to test drive and
kick the tires.
But then again, I think with these cars too, I think you get kind of like a test drive. Like you can return them.
Yeah.
Like just with Carvana, like within 7 days or something like that. So
when you go buy a car, you're a hardcore negotiator, aren't you? I could see it. Like I like just how 100%. Many times do you fake the walk away? Like that's what I need to know. Like 5?
So I mean, a lot of that is done very early on in the process through email. So I'm dealing with that in email. And I'm negotiating with multiple at the same time.
Do you use the Chris Voss method for that? Have you read any of his books?
I don't know that Chris.
So Chris Voss is a former FBI hostage negotiator. Has written a bunch of books about negotiating. He's the one that wrote How to Never Split the Difference. And the question to ask when somebody asks you to do something is, you just look at them and you say, how am I supposed to do that? And he has like a whole, I've watched this whole video of how he negotiated for a car, and the guy comes at him with a price and he's like, man, that is a great price. Anybody would be amazed to have that price, but how am I supposed to do that? And he just kept doing that over and over again. And he got him down to the exact price that he wanted just with that exact method. It's wild, absolutely wild. So anyway, there you go.
I like that. I might be using that next time around.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're ready to go. I got some videos for you next time you buy a car. I got you covered.
Yeah. Well, something else that now you're apparently able to do, and you don't have to ask how you're supposed to do that. Biometric e-gates to be tested at these U.S. airports. Clear announces and how they work. One of the airports is our very own Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson Airport here. I've not seen one of these yet. They just rolled out earlier this week. But apparently the way these things work is you kind of it's an electronic gate. You walk up to it. It, I don't know, scans you.
Yeah,
somehow,
scans your face.
Biometric.
And
something.
biometric scans like your face and compares it to your driver's license, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. And then I guess looks you up and then away you go. So this is not that different from what, if you're already in the pre-check thing.
Right.
Or the digital ID, which has now been renamed, by the way. It's now touchless. So it's not Delta digital ID. It's touchless.
Right.
It's the same thing. You walk up to a little camera. It does the thing. A person behind it says, yeah, you're good. Go on. So basically they just got rid of the person to say, yeah, you're good. Go on.
Right.
Just automated that.
Got it.
So, interesting. Okay. What it feels like to me, what this feels like is we're getting closer and closer to, I feel like it was Minority Report. Was it Minority Report where, no, it was, Total Recall. That's the movie it was.
Okay.
Where, you're walking in the airport and they have these scanners and they can scan the people.
Yeah.
And there's like, the X-ray vision and they can detect the weapons and stuff and all that. Like we're getting closer to that. Like there won't be any like scanning detectors or anything. You just kind of walk through a hallway.
Yeah.
And then it'll detect the people that need to get pulled out and be like, no, you're not going to keep walking.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's for sure where this is headed. I mean, it's one more step in the automation process. I think also in the article it mentioned that they're no longer making you take your shoes off. So for anyone that hasn't flown recently, that's a new addition. You don't get, athlete's foot along with your flight any longer. So congratulations.
Which, by the way, has been true in pre-check and digital ID for a long time.
Yeah. That's true.
And just for that reason, it's worth getting that because not gross bacteria on your feet. From
for real. Or on your socks, which you also, even don't want it on my socks, man.
Yeah. What's really gross is the people that don't wear socks at the airport and know they have to take the shoes off. Like, what is wrong with you?
Well, what was funny to me is all the people that were surprised they had to take their shoes off. And I'm like, have you, you obviously have flown for sure in the last, 10 years. How is this surprising? Anyway, whatever.
This has been going on for 20 years.
Well, that's true. Yeah, but the shoes was a little later though. The shoe guy, I don't remember what year that was, but it was after 9/11 with the shoe guy.
It was, but it was like a few years after.
Yeah, you're probably
right. I feel like it was 05, 06. So we've been doing this for like 20 years.
Yeah.
This is not a new thing.
And then after like 20 years of them never, ever, 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 ever finding explosives in shoes, they're like, it's probably okay now. 20 years in. We're okay. I think that's fine. So
I feel like this is not the problem we thought it was.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Wyoming launches first state-backed stablecoin on 7 blockchains. Apparently, a lot of research and work has gone into this. I don't know that I understood anything beyond what I just said. So, Sanjay, tell me more about what's happening here.
They're launching a stable coin, so it's pegged to the dollar, and they're launching it on a bunch of blockchains, Ethereum, I think, Solana, a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So you can buy things and sell things using this stable coin that's backed by the state government.
Okay.
So I guess maybe you feel a little bit better about your money not disappearing into the ether.
But
I don't know.
But what's the point? Again, that's the problem with all these cryptocurrencies. They're like, okay, I can convert my money in and I can convert my money out. That's all I got. It's a one-trick pony. It's a two-trick pony. That's all I got. What else?
The only thing this adds is now everybody gets to see your transactions, and I'm not sure how that's a plus.
How is that helpful? If you want to do that, just go do everything through Venmo and share all your transactions there. Right.
It's like, I feel like this kind of stuff would have been super helpful in 1980s.
Yeah.
When we didn't have any of the other things.
There's nothing else.
We have all the other things.
Yeah.
Like, why should I take a stable coin that's pegged to the dollar when I could just use dollars
or just use a credit card like that? Really, if it's for online purchases, I feel like I'm better off with my Amex. So
anything denominated in dollars is basically the same at that point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And with credit cards, at least I get protections by law, whereas with this, I don't.
It kind of it almost feels to me with some of these, and maybe this is a terrible analogy, and maybe this will just show my profound ignorance, but it feels like I'm going to the bank and I'm trading dollars for euros that I can't use anywhere in the US, and I'm just hanging on to those euros so that I can then later go trade the euros back to dollars. That's That's what it feels like. I don't like, am I crazy?
Yeah, basically, yes. Yeah. Except there's a handful of places that'll accept your euros, but then
in the US?
Convert it. Yeah. But I mean, for your analogy, and then they'll just convert it back into dollars.
Right.
That's basically what it is.
I just don't. Okay.
I don't know.
Speaking of things we don't get, by the way, I was thinking about this the other day. How long has it been since we said NFT on this show? Like that's like man, that thing died a real quick death right there, didn't it? I mean,
so here's a funny thing that just happened. I'm catching up on this show Industry, and it's a couple of seasons in, and I'm watching the second season. And on there, they're actually talking about crypto, and this is from like a few years ago.
Okay,
it was like just post pandemic, I think.
Yeah,
they filmed this and then broadcast it. And there's a guy on there that's asking about this, like Bored Ape Yacht Club. Should I be getting into these NFTs and whatever? And I was like, man, I have not thought about or heard about the Bored Ape Yacht Club first at all in years at this point. I feel like,
yeah, for sure.
But NFTs in general, I've
they're
not
gone.
thought about in quite some time.
Long gone.
Like,
yeah,
you could tell that was going to be a flash in the pan.
Yeah, we both saw that coming and called it out several times. So
yeah. Exactly. Something else that's not going to be a flash in the pan, it seems like, because this just happened. White House launches TikTok account with Trump saying, "I am your voice." I don't know who he's saying that.
At least he didn't say, "I am your father." I mean, that's better. That's better, right? So that's scarier. I'm just saying.
So I saw this and I thought, oh, so TikTok's definitely not going to get banned.
Right.
Now, here at this point. They just kicked the can another 90 days.
Yeah.
Like a week ago. I'm thinking they're going to just keep kicking the can down the road 90 days every time, because at this point.
What's the point?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
Right?
What's the point? I feel like we can't talk about social media without at least acknowledging that Gavin Newsom is just trolling the absolute crap out of Donald Trump. And it has everybody on the left is laughing hilarious, like just dying laughing at it. And everybody on the right's really annoyed by it or thinks it's dumb or whatever else. It has been hilarious
they think
to watch.
It's real and they're worried about Gavin Newsom. There was a thing that you shared on.
Yeah, that woman on Fox News that didn't get the joke. And that was unfortunate for her, for sure. Yeah. I genuinely felt bad for her as she said that. I was like, that's not going to be good for you. But yeah, it's been pretty hilarious to watch. I got to say, it's satire in this particular scenario is profoundly effective. And I love it.
Yep.
All right. Next up. Oh, and last one before we get to Weird and Wacky. So strap in for Weird and Wacky. This is going to be a bumpy ride. Class action suit claims Otter AI secretly records private work conversations. I read this. I didn't really get what it's recording conversations. It's using those conversations for training. All that's in its disclosures. I'm not sure where the problem is here. Did I miss something in this article?
Yeah, I think some of it might be the fact that some of these states don't have like single person authorization for recording. I think that might be part of it.
I see. And you can do that with Otter. You can single person record it. Interesting.
Well, so it depends, right? So if it's on a Zoom call or something, you're notified that there's a recording in progress.
Yeah, well, with Otter, I think you are, but not with everything. I mean, there's a ton of ones out there. I mean, heck, I've got one right now where I can record anything where the audio is coming and video is coming through my computer and the other person doesn't know. I don't use that one, but I could if I wanted to.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. I think there's potentially an issue here, but I don't think this is really limited just to Otter.ai.
No.
And it's just the way things work. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. You're walking around the world nowadays and you're being recorded in a camera like almost all the time.
Yeah.
And even your audio outside is probably being recorded all the time by these random doorbell cameras and all these kinds of things.
And if you're on a virtual chat of any kind, you should always assume you're being recorded at all times. Like sure, you can you can kick out the meeting recorders so that you can have more of a private quote unquote conversation. But I think we all know it's not really private. If you want to have a real off the books conversation, really the only way to do that's in person. If we're being real, phone calls are at least marginally better than like a Zoom, like a video call for sure.
Yeah.
So,
but even in person, you have to trust that the other person's not recording it.
Well, it's true. Yeah. I mean, now there's all these devices to do that too. Yeah.
Right. So really you need to be like in a Department of Defense skiff, where like all electronics have to be left outside.
Right.
And it's like this room that is impervious to electromagnetic interference inside. And, all the materials that are inside are not allowed to leave inside.
Yeah. That's right.
Basically, that's the way.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the way.
And maybe the safest way to have a private conversation is to not talk to anybody. Just
that could work.
talk in your head.
Yeah.
Time for the Weird and Wacky segment.
Abominable snowman.
He's not an axe murderer.
One of the TAs turned out to be a bot.
First up in a long stretch of Weird and Wacky, bank forced to rehire workers after lying about chatbot productivity, union says. So I forgot what bank this was.
It was I was in another country bank.
In England, I think, right?
Yeah.
So the chatbot, not so good. And it was actually Australia.
Yeah.
They're having to rehire 45 union members because the bank lied about how good the chatbot
Instead of dramatically reduced call volume when it actually increased call volume.
Right.
And all kinds of other things. But what was interesting about this, now I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw a podcast where they were talking about layoffs from IBM in their HR department. I haven't verified this, so I need to look into it, but they were saying that IBM had laid off a bunch of people in their HR department because a chatbot could then do what the HR department did, essentially.
Right.
So I mean, we're going to see more, and whether or not IBM did that or not, I'm not sure. I need to verify that, but we're going to see more and more of this where if your main job function is to interface with other employees and basically give them policies, information, advise them on what to do, that's all stuff that a chatbot can do very effectively. Yeah. And so you're in danger and you should be aware of that now.
Yeah. That said, I recently had a call, like I was calling, I don't know, some vendor, and it kept ringing and on hold. And eventually then this like very clear AI chatbot came on and pretended to be human to talk to me. Oh, and it had a human voice, the whole thing. Yeah. The voice was great. It just irritated me to no end because it's like, I don't want to talk to a computer. I want to talk to a person. Yeah. I can get this done in like 45 seconds with a human. Yeah. But I got to explain a bunch of stuff to.
Yep. Well, and
this is irritating.
I feel like when we get voice AI chatbots, they should identify that that's what you're talking to immediately.
Right.
Because most everyone's going to know anyway. Even if it's subconscious, they're going to recognize it somehow, at least in the near term. But the annoyance level is going to be far less if you're like, hey, welcome to blank company's, customer service. I'm the HR chatbot. Let me see if I can help you. That would at least be better.
We don't want to leave you on hold for too long. Let's see if I can help.
Yeah.
That's right. If it had said that, I'd be like, okay, let's see if you can help.
Yeah. All right. Next up, not so much technology related, but man, I had to tag it. Walmart recalls frozen shrimp over potential radioactive contamination. My question was, if you eat the radioactive shrimp, do you become Shrimp Man? That's really what I wanted to, I was like, man, this is how we create superheroes right here. It's a radioactive shrimp, like the radioactive spider for Spider-Man.
I thought you were going to go all the way to the Hulk, not Shrimp Man. I mean,
to the Hulk? Is that how he ate radioactive shrimp and became the Hulk?
No, but it was gamma radiation that
yeah, but when I think of something radioactive interacting with a human to become superhuman, it's obviously Spider-Man. The radioactive spider bites him. He becomes Spider-Man. That seems more analogous to me.
So she becomes Shrimp Man.
Yeah. Shrimp Man.
Or Shrimp Person.
Shrimp Person. Yeah. I like that. Shrimp Person could work.
Shrimp Person.
That seems like that's not a very PC term either. So yeah.
What happens with your superpower then? You just have the power to become really small?
Yeah, I don't know what
it's
shrimp
like Ant-Man,
do.
But shrimp
could be a superpower. You swim really well, maybe, but not so well that you don't get caught in large nets. I guess. I assume that's
there is that pistol shrimp, right? That shoots has a thing that shoots so fast that it's like supersonic.
I like that. Okay,
maybe you get that power.
Sign me up for that superpower. Shooting supersonic stuff. Done. Let's do it.
Well, if you want to have a superpower, apparently you just do it while being a regular human, because this next story is crazy. How a Croatian free diver held his breath for 29 minutes underwater.
Yeah.
That is not a typo or me missaying it. 29 minutes underwater.
29 minutes. Yeah. But the record before that was like 25 minutes and something. And the record before that was like 17. Apparently David Blaine did it on Oprah Winfrey show back in the day for 17 minutes. It's a whole thing. Like, wild.
29 minutes is nuts.
And he laid on the bottom of a pool for the 29 minutes. And he said it got much easier after the first 20 minutes, like that, because like the stomach cramps and start. Like, yeah, that's when it gets easier to not breathe, is after the first 20 minutes. That's good to know. I'm glad that I know that. So,
yeah. Unfortunately for me, it gets not as easy to breathe like within like 3 seconds. Like that's
I can't hold my breath for even a minute. Like I'm not even there. So I know there's special methodologies for this. Apparently, he was also breathing in pure oxygen for I think like
you're allowed to do
30
for the
seconds
Guinness
or something before this or something. So that helped for sure.
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Oh, okay. Yeah.
You're allowed to breathe in pure oxygen for up to 30 minutes for the Guinness Book of World Records, which is what this was done for.
Gotcha.
And apparently there's 2 sets of records for this.
Yeah. There was like an holding your breath oxygen something. And I was like, what would the other one be? Like, I was like, what? Like how, like it had this weird title to it. I was like, what is that even? How else are you going to do it? Maybe it's natural, like without pure oxygen or something. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, I don't really understand, but that it's kind of amazing. Who knew that the human body could go
the human body
without oxygen?
I have researched this enough to know that there's a certain point I think in the human body where I think your spleen somehow like releases some oxygen into your bloodstream to help you as it fights against you like dying. And I was like, oh well, I'm out. I don't have a spleen, so I can't ever do that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's a bummer. So, no holding my breath for 30 minutes. So
you can only go to 28 minutes.
Sad face. Yeah. So, all right, moving on. Sad face. Toothpaste made from hair provides natural root to repair teeth. So apparently if you turn your hair somehow into toothpaste, it's got some proteins in it that coat your tooth enamel and can also help like repair damaged enamel. Like this is apparently better than fluoride. Like better than even strengthening your teeth.
So the
amazing.
Keratin, I think, is
keratin. That's it. Keratin, yes,
in there.
Yep.
And they have side by side like X-rays, I guess, of the enamel.
Yeah.
Before and after doing this, and it has repaired the enamel, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
And amazing that you can do that. So. Coming soon to your bathroom, hair toothpaste.
Yeah, I like it. It's disgusting. Don't tell me, actually. Just don't tell me. But I like it, but don't tell me.
Don't read the ingredients made from
But that's true for a lot of things. Like just don't read. You don't want to know the ingredients of this. It's like, you just got to go with it. Yeah.
Yeah. But something you do want to take a look at and dig into, which this is kind of fascinating.
Amazing.
A new generation is uncovering the tiny doodles left by engineers on old microchips. And so apparently there's this whole hobby of taking old microchips, kind of delaminating them, prying off the cases, and then looking at them under a very large microscope.
Right.
And looking at it. And so some engineers have left really doodles in there that they didn't think anybody would ever find. So some of these are 20 years old or older.
Yeah.
And some of the engineers that have designed these things are like, I didn't think anybody would ever see this stuff. They did it for themselves, basically.
Yeah, there was like a yin yang in there, and there was like a house, like somebody made a house with like a saying next to it, and there were several others. I don't remember what all they were. So pretty fascinating.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. You kind of appreciate that. So there's a website, and I've forgotten what the website is. It's mentioned in the article. So if you're interested in this, go look at it. But there's a website that is documenting these chips and the artwork that they find inside of the chips.
All right, Sanjay, tag this next one because I know what an astrology buff you are, and I knew this was going to be really important to you because you're always talking about your sign and what your aura is or whatever. I don't even know. So none of that. I know they're not the same. Netflix launching Astrology Hub, the streamer to recommend shows based on your sign, which I find absolutely hilarious.
I think they've run out of ideas over there at Netflix. I'm very sorry to you folks over there at Netflix. You've hit a wall.
I feel like you could do the same thing, except it'd be like Okay. We're going to organize shows today by the color clothing you're wearing. So if you're wearing a black t-shirt, these are your shows. If you're wearing an orange top, these are your shows. Let's just be totally arbitrary about it. That'd be fun. So,
yeah. Next up right after that is shows based on the length of your fingernails. Why? Why is that a thing that needs to happen? I don't understand.
Oh, God. I love that.
We're going to actually start that website.
That's so good.
Measure your fingernails, and then we'll tell you what shows to watch.
I mean, obviously, if you've got like really short fingernails, you watch horror shows. Like you're biting your nails. Like, obviously, it's horror shows.
Clearly.
If you've got longer fingernails, obviously you love mysteries. That's a clearly. If you got ultra long fingernails, it's romance all day long. Romance. I'm not sure why, but that's what I'm going to go with.
Somewhere in between is action. You got some comedy in there.
If you have dirt under your fingernails, obviously documentaries. That's
clearly documentaries.
That's what you got to do. So yeah. All right, last up in Weird and Wacky, in what may be one of my favorite Weird and Wacky articles that we've covered. Maybe ever. Oh my gosh.
Love the Marines.
Marines managed to get past an AI powered camera, quote, undetected, thanks to hiding in boxes. So here's the backstory. They took I think they only took 6 days to train an AI camera on how to spot, people, Marines. And the problem is people can take all kinds, a walking person looks dramatically different than a standing person, looks dramatically different than a running person, whatever. So then I think it was 6 Marines were tasked with, can you get past this camera? So the first 2 Marines, this is the best. They did somersaults. And they just stayed in the ball and just did somersaults toward the AI camera. And because it hadn't been trained for that, it had no idea. Then the next 2, and this is the best, this might be the best. The next 2 just put big boxes over themselves and just walked straight at the camera. And my favorite part was it talked about how they were giggling the whole way. So I have this image of these Marines just giggling as they're walking toward the AI camera. And then somebody else stripped a fir tree, just held the tree up in front of them and just walked towards the camera with the tree in front of them. And they all defeated the AI camera easily doing that, which was amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Which, then makes you feel a little bit better that not yet will the AI overlords come to kill us, because you could just hide from them by
put a box on.
In a box.
Yeah, just do some somersaults and they'll be like, run. No, don't run. Somersault.
That's like brown bears and black bears, right? With one, you want to be big. The other one, you want to play dead. When it's an AI camera, you just want to roll up into a ball and roll around.
I'm trying to remember which one it is. Well, polar bears, you're just dead. I think brown bears, you play dead, and black bears, you fight, right? Isn't that what it is?
My approach is I just avoid bears.
I like that. Or you always have bear spray if you're in a place where you're going to have bears. That's always a good thing too. So
there you go.
Yeah, I like bear spray.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Tech wreck. Chicky.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
Okay, Adam, it is tech wreck time. What do you have for us this week?
All right, so this one's pretty techy and pretty nerdy, but pretty cool. So I found a site recommended to me by a friend. It's called PikaPods.com. And what it allows you to do is install open source servers or open source software on a server for super cheap. So for example, there's an open source software called Checkmate that checks to see if your websites are up and notifies you if they go down. Huh. And I was able to install Checkmate on PikaPods for, I think, $2.50 per month. And it'll check unlimited number of sites for me and see if they stay up or if they go down or whatever else. But there's a ton of other open source softwares that you can just install at the click of a button and run for $1.50 a month, $2 a month, $2.50 a month. It's wild, all the stuff you can do.
Wow.
Just tons of open source. I mean, there's open source password management softwares. There's open source photo management softwares on there. I mean, just tons of stuff. I think some of it's probably better than others, as is true with all things open source. But nonetheless, it's pretty fascinating and it's worth checking out if you're kind of techie into that nerdy world. So
I've never heard of this and I really like this. So with the one that you're using with Checkmate, is it just like a flat fee or is there any overage prices or what is it?
I think it's just a flat fee, $250, $2.50 a month. And it like stands the whole thing up. And so I log into Peekapods and then I launch that app, which logs me in on a subdomain for that, for whatever it stood up. And then I can create users and add users to it. I can add tons of websites to it. Like it does a ton of stuff. And like I said, $2.50 a month. It's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
This I am going to be digging into.
I mean, I think there's some home automation stuff in there. There's some communication stuff in there. There's productivity software. I mean, there's probably 50 or 60 different open source softwares that you can just spin up instantly and run. And it's fantastic. So it makes using open source tools like that so much easier.
Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic because some of this, like you can do this on your own, but man, it's a pain. It's such a pain.
And managing it and updates and checking for updates and all that other stuff.
So they deal with updates and all that stuff
all of it's
too?
done. All done for you. Yeah.
Ah, dude, done.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Is awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic.
All right, Sanjay, what do you have for us?
So I have something on the other end of it. If you're interested about that open source software and where it came from, Historical Tech Tree. This is a project really just for fun. You can go and find a technology and then find out the technology that led to it, like, and go back in time. So Did you know that from like streaming, you can trace it all the way back to Control of Fire in 1 million BCE? Like you can actually trace the technology innovations all the way through.
Yeah.
From the beginning of man. To today, like from stone tools. How did that lead to cars?
Yeah, that
it's crazy.
That opens up another thing. I was thinking about this just the other day, but like, we're in 2025.
Yeah.
The advancements in technology from 1900 till now, compared to the advancements in technology from say year 1 until 1900.
Yeah.
The difference is astronomical. It's unbelievable. And, and there's no indication that it's going to slow. It's going to continue to grow at an exponential pace, which I can't even fathom. I mean, can you even when you and I won't be around to see it in 100 years, but my God, it's going to be insane. All of this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So. It's exactly. They actually have on the bottom of this site, they have like this little strip chart that has all the dots of all the technologies that are in those years and everything.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see like the ebbs and flows of where kind of things shrunk in terms of technology and in innovations and when they grew again. So like in the 1700s or so, 1750s, there's not a lot of activity happening in there. And then things started picking back up after that. And there was more, and then these kind of blobs and stuff. And so I think you look in kind of, like you say, the 1900s and like now 2000s, like the dots are a lot more. There's a lot more innovation happening a lot more quickly because we have so much historical stuff that we can build upon that it's making this progress happen. And like you say, like in 100 years, this thing is just littered with dots if it still exists, but
it's
the
crazy.
kind of innovations that happen in 100 years is going to be incredible.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Sanjay, how can our listeners find and connect with you?
They can find me at my website, sanjaypark.com, which was created by the Control of Fire. What about you?
Speaking of, is your website built on Ghost?
It is on Ghost.
You can set up Ghost on Peekapods. I was noticing as well, and it manages it all for you there too.
Oh, so that's awesome.
Something to think about there.
That.
Yeah. All right, you can find me on my website, adamjwalker.com, which is not on Ghost, but does have some good resources on it.
Dun, dun, dun.